So there is a will, there is a way. The saying means that if you have the desire to do something, you will inevitably find a way to do that. But what if there is no will? Does it mean there is no way? In February 2022, the world collapsed. My world collapsed. And the life got literally divided into the before and after. How? Why? What for? The question's impossible to answer. All I would wish for was just go back to the before. But the time machine is still something from the sci-fi movies. No way. I started having nightmares of me getting robbed, of my kids getting kidnapped. I'd wake up in the morning and just lie in bed staring at the ceiling. I can't move on with this life. What helped me, what kept me from making the worst decision in my life was a creativity training that I took in May. Every day for 5 days running, we had to do multiple tasks in order to boost creativity. And one of the tasks went like this. Within the next 24 hours, you have to do something that you have never done in your life. Oh, come on. I've done it all. What a stupid task it is, I thought to myself. And then it hit me. Kate, you're only 35. Does it mean that there is nothing more to life? Does it mean that that is it? No. I still want to try and taste life. I need to come up with that something. I will just sleep on it. And at 5 a.m., I got woken up by a brilliant idea. What I'd never done in my entire life was have a dream. I would set myself goals, and I would go and achieve them. To graduate from school with honors, to enter a great university, to start my own business, to travel the world, to get married and have 2 sons. Yes, that was one of my goals. And I somehow managed to achieve that. But this big, impossible dream that there is so much buzz about, I'd never had one of those. That's exactly what you're going to do. So for the first time in my life, I opened a notebook and wrote my dream. I dream of creating a space where Russian people can speak freely. I dream of creating a space where Russian voices can be heard by the entire world and get understanding and support. Impossible. Scary, but I had that desire burning in my chest. I had that will again. You see, the power of the will is that it is some kind of energy that is built inside your body. And you probably know it from the physics course that according to the law of energy conservation, the total energy in an isolated system remains constant. What it means in human language is that energy, once born, cannot just evaporate. It cannot disappear. What it can do is transform. And in case of the will, it transforms first into exploring and then into acting. It's like a scientist who has this brilliant idea. So if they say yes to it, what they do? They start exploring by collecting data, and then they move into acting by conducting experiments and testing hypotheses. they never know exactly how they will get to point B. But they inevitably find a way to get there. We can all be that scientist. All we need to do is say yes to our ideas. By developing this yes mentality, we set off the power of the will that keeps us going and helps us wake up in the morning. And for me, the chain reaction of the yes mentality got set off with that very simple question. What have you never done in your life? All I would do is just say yes to them and go out and do that. From the silliest things like wakeboarding or trying on a $10,000 dress to the most difficult decisions that I'd probably be never capable of making. Instead of nightmares, I started having visions. Visions. And in October 2022, when I was racking my brain as to whether we are to take my family for the time being, well, I'd look out there and I would see people going for Armenia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, other destinations. I'd explore them, but something just wouldn't click. So one night, I had a vision. I saw myself snorkeling amid coral reefs and multicolored fishes. Egypt. I woke up and bought tickets for the entire family. I still don't know how my husband agreed to that. And yes, that was a challenging trip. Okay, not with 3, but with 2 kids. And yes, after 3 months, everyone started feeling homesick. And after 6 months, it was clear, crystal clear, we had to go back. But it was the best 6 months in our entire family history. For the first time in 10 years, no one got sick with any winter viruses. My kids would spend every day hanging out outdoors, playing with their friends, swimming, and just enjoying life. They actually started speaking English, simply because there were so many tourists. And I did another 4 things that I'd never done in my life. Swimming and snorkeling in the Red Sea, seeing pyramids, celebrating New Year's under the palm tree. Well, for you, that might not be that, fantastic, but for me it was. And throwing a beautiful outdoor birthday party for my son in March. All we need to do to set off the power of the will is to try and taste life. And that idea led me to my biggest dream. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. It came true. One day, I had the word Istanbul flashing through my mind. Istanbul. And that's exactly how we went global. In March 2023, we organized a public talk conference in Istanbul, where our speakers delivered their idea to a really diverse international audience. And each of them got understanding and support. Then followed Cyprus, then Armenia, then Kazakhstan. And my big, impossible dream came true in November when we organized our own TEDx conference at Nazarbayev University, Astana. 5 out of 10 speakers were Russians delivering their ideas in English. You see, TED is something that unites people over big ideas capable of changing life. worth spreading. And if you share that in English, you can reach out to people, to millions, thousands of people all over the world. And I actually did some research to see where Russians stand there. And I was really sad to find out that from 2012 to 2023, there's been only, how many do you think? How many Russian speakers in 11 years? 2012 to 2023. Give me your wildest guess. 14 Russian speakers gave their talks in English in 11 years. Now, let's let figures talk for themselves. 14 speakers in 11 years versus 5 on one day. Now, the world can hear another 5 Russian voices. And I hope that they will get understanding and support. To find the will, all it takes is to try and taste life. All you need to do is to ask yourself a very simple question. What have I never done in my life? What have I never done in my job? What have I never done with my family or friends? What dishes have I never tasted? What places have I never seen? What sports or activities have I never tried? There is so much more to life. All we need is to say yes to it. The only thing to figure out is the how. But now you know. There is a will, there is a way. Thank you.